Hi, my name is Stisi from the Stisi Group. In this video today, we're going to talk you through how to improve your credit score. Coming up in a few seconds. So knowing your credit history and your credit file before you apply for a mortgage is extremely important. All banks, all lenders ultimately out there that you're going to take a mortgage from is going to check your file in one way or another to establish whether they're going to give you the money. And ultimately you need to know how that is going to look prior to submitting a mortgage application. So the first thing to do is check your file. We use a company called Check My File. You can find that on our website, Stisi, stisi.co.uk. If you go down to the very bottom of the home page, it's on the banner at the bottom, Check My File. You can go and click on there, and that will show you what lenders will see. So ultimately, Check My File cover 4 credit reference agencies across the UK. And then you can just really see what lenders are going to see, and you can share that with your mortgage advisor or mortgage broker to establish how things are looking. The next thing is fixing mistakes. If there are any mistakes on your credit file, an ex-neighbour of ours, just as a personal example, he had a bankruptcy on his credit file which belonged to someone else of the same name 2 streets away. So it isn't perfect. So if there are any mistakes, you need to get them rectified early. If there's a wrong address on your account, these sorts of things. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. If it has happened to you, you need to fix it early, because these things can take quite a while to get fixed. But definitely important. Check your file first. Any mistakes that you can see, something doesn't stack up to you, you need to get that fixed by contacting the appropriate people. You'll only know who the appropriate people are once you've looked at your credit file. Next thing is using your credit card little and often. If you have a credit card, it's good to use it little and use it often. That establishes a pattern of you using finance and repaying it, using finance and repaying it. The longer that goes on, it's giving you a green tick, if you like, every month. So it's helping build your credit score and ultimately your credit profile as well. Because lenders don't just look at the number that's on your credit score. It could be 700 out of 999. They're not just looking at that number. They're looking at the general overall profile of that person as well. So if you have a credit card, use it little and use it often. If you don't have a credit card because you have established you've got previous poor credit history, then it's important. You need to try and obtain a credit builder credit card. So that could be, a high interest rate and low balance that will give you in the beginning, but it helps you get back on the ladder, so to speak. So that's the next point. The next is low utilization. So this credit card, you've got £1,000 limit on that card. You don't want to be up at that £1,000 limit all the time. It shows bad history. You're always borrowing up to the maximum as much as you can. So you want to keep that balance quite low. And again, back to the previous point, you want to put a bit of balance on and pay it off. You don't want to be up to the limit. You might have multiple cards. If you've got 3 cards and you're up to the limit all the time, it doesn't look good when a lender goes to check your credit file. Next stage is electoral roll. It's important, if you're not on the Electoral Voters roll, that you get on it Lenders use that as a huge green tick in the box when they're doing a credit check on you. They will check if you're on the voters roll. If you're not on the voters roll, it definitely can mark you down for a lot of lenders. So it's important you check you're on the voters roll. If you're not, you can contact your local council and make sure you get put on the voters roll. A big green tick in the box. Next point is avoid multiple checks. Huge important point there. Avoiding multiple credit checks in a short space of time. If you look like you're credit hungry and you're applying for lots and lots of things, you've applied for a car, a credit card, a new phone, a new bank account, it's a credit check, a stamp every single time you go and do that. If you've done multiple checks in a short space of time and then apply for a mortgage, the chances are, quite high chance, you'll be declined because it looks like you're very credit hungry. So if you're applying for things, the new mobile phone contract, the car finance, the credit card, you want to split them over a longer period, one every couple of months perhaps. If you do a lot in a short space, it can mark you down quite highly and quite vastly, so just avoid doing that. Next point is get your name on the bills. Get your name on the council tax, get your name on the gas, the electricity, because again these can help build your credit profile. So if you are living with a partner, for example, but you're not on these bills and you're going to at some point go for a joint mortgage application, I would get yourself on these bills as quickly as possible. It just helps build your credit profile and your credit worthiness. So definitely worth getting on early.
Good morning, Stisi Group speaking.
Pay your bills on time. Sounds like an obvious one. Sounds like a very obvious one, but it's important that if you've got credit cards, if you've got loans, get any other types of finance, get them set up on a monthly direct debit. All it takes is for you to miss that for 1 month, and it's a black stamp on your file. If you go applying for a mortgage a couple of months later, it can decline. Quite a high chance that it will decline. So it's important. Sounds most obvious, but pay those bills on time. Get the direct debit set up, and then that'll make sure that everything is being paid on time. And then the last one.
I don't think so, but I would have to ask Ross that for you.
And that is time is the greatest healer. If you have got a bad credit history, it's not going to go away overnight. It can take years to go away, to be honest. It's a sort of 6-year rolling. So time can also be the greatest healer. If you've had previous issues, then the main thing is you just need to let time heal. If you fix all these other points, that's a line in the sand, and you just need to move forward from there. And keep in touch with a good mortgage advisor, good mortgage broker. Keep looking and checking your file. Make sure any mistakes are fixed and all the rest. And keeping in touch with your mortgage broker, they will be able to steer you as to when a good time would be for you to, apply for a mortgage. So that is good ways to improve your credit score and keeping on top of things. So any questions, you can contact us on the website. It's stisi.co.uk, stisi.co.uk, if you have any questions. So it's Ross Stisi from the Stisi Group, trusted mortgage experts. Thanks again.